for both teams today in this
I
semifinal
think
show?
definitely with DME to start with, they have to set the tone from the get-go. I think they are all the squad guys who are 2019, 2000, maybe 20 class. So they need to set the tone and really impose their will and their pace on this young but very, very talented Montverde squad. So if you let them play, you're in for a run for your money. They're very, very talented. So I think DME need to do a good job dictating the pace and taking care of the ball. Yesterday they had a lot of unforced turnover. Hopefully today they have corrected that and make the easy path to the open man and run in transition defense and take care of the ball. So for Montverde, I think with the youth, they need to execute, make sure they don't get rattled. But they have a really, really relaxed and calm point guard in number 2, Josh Walton, who did an amazing job yesterday, running very, very fast with the ball, as well as the other guard at number 4. He's a very good guard too. So their two guard in the backcourt are really good. And number 22, number 23, Caleb Houston is high rank kid for the class of 2022 and a poor potential. So let's see what happens.
DME gets the tip off the jump ball to start the game, and they take a quick shot here in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock by Bobby Miller. He misses, and Montverde, DME gets the rebound, and Montverde sets up in their 2-3 zone. You're going to have to bear with us on the names for Montverde. Some of these jerseys do not match the people on the roster. So Josh Walton's number 2, Caleb Houston's number 23, as Jocko Fritz has a nice take with the left hand to get DME on the scoreboard early. But number 40, we do not have a name. I believe that number 41 is Yuhao Hank Jiang. And he'll play pick and roll with Josh Walton, who was the star for Montverde yesterday in their 2 games, helping lead his team to the semifinals here. And that was a nice delivery on the bounce pass, but a great shot block by Kenny Isnord. A turnover by DME, and in transition, Montverde gets on the board with a nice finish in transition by Caleb Houston. And you touched on Caleb Houston, Mamadou, the young 2022 prospect from Canada, long, lanky, 6'7". Tell me kind of what you know about his game and what he does well and what he needs to improve on.
He does labor everything. Very strong driver. You can see his size, 6'7" to 6'8". Young, can really get in the paint and find the open man, can defend multiple position, play multiple position. Was playing the point guard growing up. So with this team with so many guards, they play him at the 2, at the 3, at the 4, and at the 5. But I mean, he's a top level talent. You see his body only gonna get better.
A tough step back going left by Josh Walton, and he picks up where he left off yesterday over a tough contest by Jermaine Gresham, who just took a 3, misses it long, and Kenny Isnord with the offensive rebound as he skies in there and does what he does best.
So basically what Montverde doing right now is packing the paint with their zone, forcing DME to make shots. So now we're the advantage, and you've seen in the first 2 possessions, DME is more athletic, more physical, with Kenny Isnord, with Jocko, with Antonin coming off the bench. They really need to impose their will with Jermaine, with Bobby, flying and getting all those offensive rebounds when they miss.
After a Bobby Miller 3, DME's up 1 now. A legal screen called on Montverde and another legal screen, this one on Jocko Fritz. That's DME's second turnover here in the first 3 minutes. And that was obviously a cause for concern for Coach Al Seuss here in the second game. A little bit sloppy as they were fortunate to beat Life Prep by 4 points in the second round.
They had too many turnovers. They need to be very, very careful. They already had 2 in the first 3 minutes of this game. They cannot do that.
Josh Walton, what a take.
This kid is really, really crafty. play under control, young, but I mean he has a lot of different tricks up his sleeve. So they have to be really, really careful right now.
And we touched on Walton as DME has their third turnover already. Walton's the son or the brother of Andrew Nebhard from Florida, the University of Florida.
Yep.
And Walton is a 2020 guard and definitely is the savvy and more experienced guard on this young Montverde roster. And then you sprinkle in talented guys like Houston on there. This is a dangerous ball club, and as I would think, has overachieved maybe a little bit in this event. So you got to give some credit to Coach Brendan Boyle for getting his boys into the semifinals of a post-grad tournament.
Yeah, they have, I mean, some very good pieces. They have a big kid, his name, I believe in Jaden Wibley, 6'10", post player, who's a high major talent. Of course, they have Houston, who's a big time talent, and definitely the point guard number 2, Josh Walton as well. So you cannot underestimate them. They know how to play, and they're very talented, young but talented.
Bobby Miller tried to off the wrong foot. Josh Walton in transition.
He's showing us everything this fall.
He's got 6 of Montverde's 8 here early on. And, man, got to keep him out the paint.
Somebody from DME needs to take the challenge and really make him uncomfortable because right now he's really doing a great job running the show for Montverde, scoring and finding the open man.
Isnord hits his first bucket of the game, a short corner jumper. And we talked about Kenny yesterday, and you're a big fan of Kenny Isnord.
I'm a big fan of him because, first of all, he's an amazing kid. And number 2, he's an extremely hard-working kid. Want to be in the gym all day long. Right now, high-energy guy, pick and roll, tip dunk. But his skill set is improving. And you saw that short jumper off the baseline. Only going to keep on getting better, has all the athletic tools and the desire to get better.
Josh Walton with the floater on the other end to get Montverde to regain the lead. And the young big Jaden Webley will check in for, I'm not sure who number 40 is. We don't have him on our roster. But Jaden Webley, another Canadian on this roster. There's 4 Canadians on this young team. And obviously Montverde is known for very good Canadians, as we know, with guys like R.J. Barrett, who is at Duke right now, is the top prospect in the country coming out of high school at Montverde. And obviously, coincidentally, his younger brother is on the roster, Nathan Barrett, a 2022 6'1" guard. I'm sure he's going to grow a little bit in the next few years.
Definitely. He did a very good job yesterday, so he should be coming in shortly. Again, my man Josh Walton.
10 points early on for Walton, 10 of his team's first 12, as he's trying to keep his team afloat as Jeremy Golson tries to connect on his second 3 here in the first few minutes of checking in. And Walton back on the attack the other way. Good ball movement here by Montverde. Houston gets in the paint, puts up a acrobatic shot at the rim, gets his own rebound, and draws a foul on Fritz. That's his second, team second. And here comes Antonin Kamkian, who missed the first game yesterday because of the ACT. Was very active in the second game, and that's just another big that you're very high on as well.
Very, very high on him for the same reason. Hard-working big. I think haven't played basketball for many years. Only getting better. Nice body, big hands. So keep on getting better. I think he's gonna get some high major look very, very, very soon here. Smart kid too. Very intelligent.
Both good by Caleb Houston. And him and Josh Walton have all the points so far for Montverde. Bobby Miller tries his third three of the attempt, and he missed of the first half, and he misses, gets a rebound and kick out from Antonin Camp, getting off the offensive rebound, and Bobby Miller's got 5 here early on for DME.
That's the advantage. They really need to maximize on it. I think they're more physical and more ready. And every miss, they need to crash the glass.
Tracy with the steal, and Tracy with the offensive rebound after Jeremy Golson misses his second consecutive 3. He started off 1 for 3 from the line from the 3-point line early on.
It's hard to box out when you're in zone, so they need to really take advantage of that and keep crashing the glass.
Tracy finds Golson. He'll try one from the corner and hit. He's 2 for 4 so far with 6 points off the bench. A nice find by Jacob Tracy there. And he actually picked up his first scholarship offer yesterday to Canisius. So congratulations to Jacob on that. And Coach Boyle is not happy, and he called the timeout here with 12:03 left in the first half. 17-14 DME on top early on. And it's been the Josh Walton show so far once again.
Highly skilled guard, really talented guard, and have a good head on his shoulders. Doesn't get rattled. And you can see he score the ball in multiple ways. Floaters, off the foot forward, like pro-level skill. So you cannot underestimate him. You have to take him serious because, he's a model of the team right now. And then Houston is doing a wonderful job too. And he haven't got into his game yet, so they need to really keep attention to both of those guards. But now I'm sure Coach Boyle is talking to his guard. And number one is they have to rebound. They've been giving too many offensive rebounds. They're doing a good job in the zone, besides a couple trees that they have given to DME, but they have to box out. They have to limit them to one shot. So you gotta be a 5-man rebounding. Guards gotta come back in to really help the bigs rebound because DME have the advantage inside when you have Antonin going against the young Jaden.
The 3 out the timeout by Jaden Moncrief out of Apopka, Florida is no good. At the other end, Jermaine Marshall gets away with a walk. Finds Jacob Tracy, who finds Bobby Miller for a 3, his second triple of the first half. And between him and Jeremy Golson, there's their 4 threes there by DME, and DME with their biggest lead so far here early in the game, 20-14. Bobby's got 8 to lead the way so far for DME.
He had a very good game yesterday in the second game, so he's picking off where he left off yesterday. That's what they gotta do. They gotta make him uncomfortable. Good job switching it up by Coach Alsos. Because if you let number 2, Walter, be comfortable, you're gonna have a long night. Switch it up on him and make him uncomfortable. Nice job trapping him there.
6 on the shot clock here. We'll see what Walton gets as he gets into the open floor. Somehow keeps the ball alive. Floater, good. 12 for Walton. 12 of the 16. Houston's got the other 4. No other Montverde player has scored yet so far here, and we're almost halfway through the first half.
Yeah, Walton is the guy right now. He's making everything run, making everything go. But they have other players who are very, very talented as well. So, but they have to really focus on him and trying to throw him down.
Bobby Miller has 11, 3 triples and a nice finish with the right hand. 11 of his team's 23 here. He's definitely had a very good 2 days so far here for Coach Alsos. 2 guys we haven't seen yet on Coach Alsos' bench, who I thought bailed them out yesterday a little bit late in the game in the second half, and had 2 really good games actually for both of them, is Zach Johnson and Anthony Iglesia.
Yeah, definitely. They did a good job yesterday. Really picking up the team when they were struggling. They did a nice job. So looking forward to to having them get in the game and have an impact helping their team.
Good defensive possession there by DME as they force the shot clock violation. And they're looking to build on their 7-point lead. Another three, no good by Golson. Good looks, though, and he shoots the ball really well, so I'm sure Coach Alsus is fine with that possession.
Good box out by number 0, Zach Simeon for Montverde. They have to do that. They have to really be physical because DME been getting a lot of offensive rebound out the zone. So guard rebounding is huge.
This Jermaine Marshall just picked up his second personal. I believe he had the last one as well.
Yep.
Team's fourth. He's got 2. Fritz has 2. And Zach Johnson checks in for the first time today for Bobby Miller, who's off to a blazing hot start for Coach Alsus. This Montverde team only has 3 American kids on their roster.
Basketball international now, you know. There we go, Bobby with his 7 points. Wide open 3.
Caleb Houston showing the range, the 2022 prospect from Canada. And he's got 7. Walton's got 12. And that's all of your production still for Montverde. The mid-range jumper by Marshall's no good. Long rebound corralled by Josh Walton, and he dribbles it off his foot, and that's the 3rd turnover for Montverde here. Both teams, has been a pretty clean game here so far, Mamadou. Turnovers obviously were an issue yesterday, but both teams only have 3 turnovers apiece, and 2 or 3 of those have been illegal screens.
Yeah, definitely. They've been doing a much better job, DME especially, taking care of the ball and running their offense. So they need to keep that going.
Speaking of turnovers, and there's another one. So
we must have jinxed them.
Yeah. Ishan Sinha for Montverde checked in the game. And Montverde goes back to Hank Jiang, the 6'7" power forward from Shenyang, China.
You like that pull up jumper. Another floater.
Walton has another, he's got 14 now, and I'd say 12 of them have been floaters or crafty finishes around the rim and one tough step back going left. Zach Johnson misses his first shot of the game. Long rebound corralled by Camp Gain, and
good rebound by Walton right there, sticking his nose in there.
That's actually not a travel.
I don't think it was a travel.
But DME will take it.
Could have been a block.
Yep.
I mean, if you look at Walton's game, all his shots are really, really hard. So that just tells me he must be a gym rat, because those type of shots, are very difficult to make, especially for a young guard.
Anthony Iglesias picks up where he left off yesterday, hitting an NBA 3 off the pick and roll. He gets his first basket of the game as he checked in, the Rochester, New York native who had a very good day yesterday. Houston corrals his own miss, kicks it out to number 4, who we don't have a name for, but his 3 in the corner is no good, and rebound to Camp Gain. He's got about 6 rebounds already so far. Iglesias with a nice find at Camp Gain. He draws the contact on Hank Jiang and finishes through the contact, and he'll go to the line for a 3-point play as DME has stretched their lead to 7 points here, 28-21. Number 4, we have a name now, is Jeremy Torres. He's a 2022 guard from Puerto Rico. And he is the combo guard who complements Josh Walton pretty well in the backcourt, as you saw yesterday.
Both of them are small but powerful guards. They're getting the teeth of the defense and find the open man. Nice pass right there.
And that's a rule that people are very, that's a rule right there. Kenny Isnord broke, was don't save the ball under your own basket. And Coach Alcides wasn't too happy about it. And looks like he's a little disappointed with Anthony too for not coming back and getting the ball.
Yeah, definitely. When you have a little bit of pressure, make sure you go toward the ball. It's very important because as the pressure is coming, if you leak out, you have more chance of somebody jumping the passing lane.
Houston makes both. He's got 9 here. He's having a solid first half, and Montverde shows some full court pressure.
You really have to watch him because he have a quiet 9. He's not even forcing anything, still have 9 points. That just shows you the level of talent he is.
Coach Boyle wanted a double dribble there, but didn't get it. And here we are, 12 on the shot clock. Here in Iglesia goes to Isnord, who takes it to the basket, can't finish. Tip out by Houston, tipped up in the air by Walton. He corrals his own tip, and he takes it to the basket. Sidesteps Iglesia and gets his shot blocked by Camp Gain at the rim.
Should have passed that one.
Golson finds Johnson. They play pitch and catch together. Golson tries his floater, and he's got 8 off the bench here. He's been very aggressive for Coach Alcides' team, as he's 3 for 7 so far in the first half. Houston will take another trip to the free throw line after he drew a foul on Kenny Isnord, attacking the basket here and looking to build on his strong first half performance so far.
Yeah, Kenny need to be more in balance because that was a really tough shot. He forced Houston under the basket. Did not need to bail him out because he was going to miss that shot. It was a tough floater behind the backboard. It was not going to go in. Discipline there.
Houston misses the first. DME now has 16 fouls, and for the next 6 minutes, Montverde will be in the 1-and-1. Houston makes a second, splits the pair, and DME comes into the front court up 7, looking to try to get their first double-digit lead of the game. Johnson goes inside to Camp Gain, who surveys the floor, then makes a move, gets to his right hand and finishes it nice off the glass.
Good patience, good spacing offensively, and good strong move. Nice move by Anthony. Keeps on getting better daily.
The bench getting into it for DME as they smell some blood.
Too big.
Houston goes to Walton, 9 on the shot clock. Iglesia guarding him. Trap comes from Isnord.
Nice
Walton
time.
skips it out to good ball movement here. And that's a shot clock violation, as DME causes their second shot clock violation here of the first half.
I thought the ball might have left his hand before the shot clock, but maybe not.
DME's doing a good job of extending this lead with Fritz in foul trouble, Jermaine Marshall in foul trouble, and Montverde goes man-to-man here. Turnover by Golson, DME's 5th turnover of the first half. And a much-needed stop there by Montverde. Walton finds Webley, but he travels, and that's Montverde's 5th turnover of the game.
Nice move, though, by Walton to go by his man and find the open big. Should have been a catch and finish. Young kid Webley. In a year or two, those are going to be hammer dunks.
Cap Gain finds Isnord. His 3's an air ball. And running the other way is Walton, who finds Jaden Moncrief. And I believe that might be the first basket scored by somebody not named Walton or Houston for Montverde. And we're here 4 minutes left in the first half. 3 by Iglesia, no good, and Walton corrals his 4th rebound of the game so far. He'll find the Puerto Rican guard Torres, who finishes off the glass. That was gorgeous off the glass. Very high. Takes the contact, and Montverde chips away at this lead and cuts it to 5 here with a chance to cut it to 4 with exactly 4 minutes left in the first half.
Obviously, they must be working on that every day because you see all the guards are comfortable shooting that floater, that running floater, off of their drives.
Torres scores his first basket of the game. And a mini 5-0 run by Montverde makes Coach Alsus call a timeout here. 33-29, 4 minutes left in the first half. DME on top. Mamadou, what are your takeaways so far from DME, and what do you think Coach Alsus is trying to do here out of this timeout?
Definitely, if I was him, I would try to go inside again, either to Kenny or to Kenny Isno or to Antonin, because they have trouble to really guard them. But be ready for them coming in double teaming. If they do, just kick the ball out. Leg a cut, or be ready to catch and shoot or drive. And defensively, he really need to focus on those 2 key players in Walton and Houston, because the only other couple guys who can score might have been Torres and the big kid. So, but run something really good here and try to get a defensive stop and finish the half, because the game is really close. It looks like DME should be big, should be up with a bigger margin, but it's only a 4-point game.
This is a game, in my opinion, DME has to win. You're the older team. You're the more experienced team. And this is a young second team, I would assume. Their second high school team for Montverde. You can't lose games like this if you're Coach Alsus.
Yeah, but they're very talented. I think number 22, Houston and Walton have a spot on the top team, as well as the young big. He's young, but he's going to be very, very good too. So you have 4 guys who could be part of the number 1, number 2 team in the country. So you have to be very, very careful. This team is really talented.
Turnover by Bobby Miller on a carry call, and DME's got 6 turnovers here in the first half. A lot better than it was yesterday in that second game. Walton stops and pops, uses the off-armor a little bit, got away with it, and he finishes and cuts this lead to 2 points. Montverde on a 7-0 run here in the last few possessions.
They might need to put some more size on him, because I just think with his craftiness, a little bit of size might bother him a little bit more, because there he just got to his top spot and just elevated. And he's going to keep on doing that too.
DME's 7th turnover. Antonin gets called for traveling, and Jacob Tracy checks back in to put more length on Walton, and Jermaine Marshall checks back in the game. Montverde looking to build off their 7-0 run here and maybe tie this game or take the lead here on this possession. Houston finds Walton, 5 on the shot clock. Tracy guarding him. He stops and shoots a 3, misses. Long rebound corralled by Houston. They'll run some more clock and try to get something better here than they did on this last possession. They'll find Jaden Moncrief, who will go back to Torres. 15 on the clock, and they find Walton. Tracy gambles. Walton gets in the paint, kicks it to Houston. He up fakes 1 dribble to the side step, hits the 3, and he's in double figures now with 12 of his own. And we have a new leader as Montverde on a 10-0 run. Should be up 34-33, I guess, unless that was a long 2.
This kid is smooth, man. Size, skill, athleticism. Houston have a chance to be a pro, in my opinion. As long as he keep on getting better.
Nice find there by Tracy, finding Camp Gain, and DME on top 35-33. The referee called Houston's last shot a 2. Jaden Moncrief finishes high off the glass against the length. And we're back knotted up here at 35 with a minute and a half left in the first half.
Again, Walton with great vision, beating his man and give him a great pass for just a catch and finish.
Tracy walks. DME's 8th turnover.
Tracy need to do better. I think, he got all the tools, and I think a chance to be a high level guard, but he got to do a better job taking care of the ball. It's very important. As a point guard, the first thing they're going to look at is your assist to turnover ratio. So you have to take care of the ball. Nice play. Oh, man.
Walton, beautiful find on the back cut to Houston, who finishes as he contorts his body against Fritz. Fritz did a good job of not picking up that third foul, but Montverde back on top, 37-35 here. 54 seconds left as Fritz and Tracy play two-man. Tracy finds Camp Gain. Camp Gain will take a three. He'll miss. Long rebound to Houston. He's been great on the glass today as well. Just a great overall first half by him. 2-for-1 opportunity for Montverde. They take a chance with Houston taking a three. Long rebound by Torres. Can't finish over Camp Gain. He's been very good for DME as well. Bobby Miller, sidestep, Euro step, takes the contact, finishes with the right hand. He's got 13 here to lead the way for DME as they tie the game up. He goes for a three-point play here.
Nice finish by Bobby. I think the DME big, Antonin and Isno need to establish themselves more inside the paint than popping out and taking contested threes. Even though they have the ability to make it, get inside the paint and dominate.
Miller converts the three-point play, and DME back on top here, and Montverde will hold for one shot. Walton clears everyone out and wants to go at Tracy. Finds Houston in the corner. He shoots a three, hits it, and Montverde goes up right before the half, 40-38, and Caleb Houston and Josh Walton have single-handedly carried Montverde to a two-point lead here in the first half.
They're putting on a show. You have a great point guard, honestly. I mean, Walton is an elite point guard from what I'm saying. Very fast, know what to do, have floaters, can really run an offense and find the open man and get them a good shot. So, and Houston is a high-level guard. He can play multiple positions, can shoot the ball, can drive the ball. So those two are really high-level prospects, and I believe Houston, as I mentioned, have a chance to play at the next level. So if he keeps on getting better size, athleticism, skill, so really look calm and relaxed. So they may need to do a better job making those two uncomfortable. I wouldn't have too much right now for Houston and really need to put some pressure on Walton to make him uncomfortable.
Houston, you talked about him before the game. You thought maybe he still needs to work on his jumper. He's hit 3 or 4 triples today. He must have heard you, Mamadou.
Yeah, he definitely did. He's not hesitating. He missed a couple to start the game, but he stayed aggressive. He stayed aggressive on that pull-up jumper. Because what we haven't seen, he's a very good driver. So, he haven't even driven as much as he usually does, because the three-pointer's been so wide open, and he's been just stepping, catch, and going up. And what is interesting, yesterday, the director of one of the director of the youth Canadian basketball was actually here, Michael Mix, to come and watch Walton, Houston, and all the Canadian kids, Barrett and Bentley. So, Canada basketball is really getting better and better, and they start at a really young level. They even follow the kid in these tournaments to see their progression. He was here yesterday, was talking to them after the game, and I heard him talk to Houston about the jumper, because yesterday he was turning down a lot of three-pointers and forcing the drive, and today you saw he must be a quick learner, because he's not turning down the opportunities and letting them go. So Canada is doing a very good job with the U.S. basketball and U.S. program, and sending the top directors and leaders of Canadian youth basketball to follow these young talents all over the country, all over the USA.
Walton and Houston combined for 33 of the 40 points. Jeremy has 2. Jaden Moncrief has 4. And that is your totals. 4 people have scored for Montverde. Now, I do have a question if Josh Walton is actually the name of the guy who we're raving about, because this says Ryan. But there is no other person on this roster. So
It cannot be Ryan Grant. Ryan is 6'3", so Josh Walton is from Canada. That's him.
I don't know why it says Ryan here on the stat sheet.
That's not Barrett, so yeah, we're good, I think. I think that's Josh Walton.
So number 0 we have correct. 41 is Hank. I went out on a limb. There was only two guys from China to pick from, and he was 6'7". Tony is number 55. Is there a Tony there?
Jeremy.
Do you see a Tony? I do not see a Tony. Don't see a Tony. A Felipe. Is there a Felipe? Felipe Gonzalez is number 40 for Montverde. 34 is Jaden Webley.
Yeah, that's a big kid.
Yep. So
We got that one.
wrong. His number's wrong though. Ishan we have 15 is Nam. Nam Dao is 15. Number 10 is Jaden Moncrief. We got those numbers right. So
What about this one?
I don't think
Torres called, but they
do you
didn't.
see. I don't see them on the sheet here.
Maybe that's Tony. This Tony, maybe Torres. 55, no.
I don't even think 55's checked in yet, to be honest with you.
Hold on, I think.
But 18 seconds here before the second half starts. Bobby Miller leads the way with 5, 8, 11, 13, 14 points for DME. Antonin, solid first half with 7 points. Jeremy Golson off the bench with 8. So DME has pretty good production off their bench. Iglesia with 3 and an assist. 7, 10, 18 points off the bench for DME. Bench points for DME out of their 38 points. And Bobby Miller has 14 of the points for the starters. So
Number 4 is Jeremy Torres. So his name is, and then get about 5 points, I think. Yeah, Jeremy. Yeah, that's him, Torres. Jeremy Torres, yeah. He put Jeremy.
second half starting here. Montverde up 2. The young, talented roster and good guard play led by Josh Walton has carried the way so far here. And DME comes out in their 1-3-1 half-court trap.
Yeah, definitely changing the look, because sometimes with young guards, even older guards, you know, when you change the looks, it might slow them down a little bit. Let's see how Walton handles it. Yep. Almost a turnover there.
Broken play, almost a turnover. Ball hits the side of the backboard. And somehow it still ends up in Montverde's hands. And a 3-point field goal attempt by the Apopka, Florida native, Jaden Moncrief. He's got 7 to kind of be that third option so far for Montverde, as Montverde goes up 5 here to start the second half. Jermaine Marshall hits a pull-up mid-range jumper. 43-40, Montverde. DME starts Anthony Campgain in the second half instead of Kenny Isnord. The only change in either team's starting lineups or changes from the opening tip. Deflection by Marshall, corralled by Torres. He'll find Walton. 7 on the clock. Another floater by Walton. This one's no good. Houston's tip up, no good. Rebound, Tracy. DME has numbers. Miller finds, gets to the basket, and he has another bucket in transition. He's got 16 to lead DME. And DME cuts the lead to 1.
The changeup causing a little bit of difficulties for these guards, especially Walton.
Travel by Montverde.
This 1-3-1 defense is not easy to play against, especially for young guards.
And when you got as much length as DME has at every position, it's something that Coach Al Seuss really likes to go to, especially in the second half. Ball corralled by Jaden Moncrief. He goes at Fritz, and that's a great defensive play by Fritz. He outlets it a little too far for Marshall. They still have numbers. Marshall side steps through, can't finish. Camp Gang gets it back. Webley with the nice block, and Fritz with the tough finish on the tip-in.
That might have been a foul on Webley, but, very good contest against Anthony.
Walton finds Torres in the corner. He'll skip it out to Houston.
Good adjustment by Coach Boyle to bring up Houston, who's a taller guard, but he turns it over too.
Nice side step by Fritz. He's got his own little mini 4-0 run, and DME up 3 after falling back 43-38 here early on in the first possession of the game. They're now on an 8-0 run. Zach Semler checks in the game from Arkansas Little Rock. He's a sophomore guard. He'll check in for Jaden Moncrief. Houston's bunny off the baseline out of bounds play is no good, and DME will take possession, looking to build on their 8-0 run. Tracy gets past Walton, finishes it 48-43 now.
Very good beginning for DME here. Getting back the momentum.
Walton, 3, no good. Rebound Tracy. Great throw ahead to Marshall. And Marshall's dunk is finished. And Coach Boyle needs a timeout. That's a 12-0 run by DME. And Coach Al Seuss once again coming to that 1-3-1 half-court trap out of halftime. Always seems to give people trouble.
Couple of things. They're struggling with a 1-3-1. You got to attack it. You got to be shot ready, and you got to attack it. Attack the gap before they come back. Secondly, they've been doing a bad job, I think, Montverde getting back in transition and guarding the ball. So they got to fix those 2 areas. They cannot just be hanging when the shot go up and not get back on defense and force DME to earn every basket. So they need to do a better job handling the 1-3-1. And second, they need to get back in transition and get set and not give DME all these easy baskets.
DME on a 12-0 run here. If you haven't been watching, in the first half, Montverde up 40-38 because Josh Walton and Caleb Houston combined for 33 points of the 40 in the first half. So far here, neither one has scored, and DME is now on a 12-0 run to take a 7-point lead here early in the second half. Out of the timeout, Coach Al Seuss goes man. Torres up fakes Tracy in the corner, misses the 3, rebound by Houston. He pulls it out, finds Walton, and Montverde has a fresh new shot clock. Walton gets in the paint, finds his buddy Houston. Gets in the paint himself, draws a foul on Marshall. That's his 3rd. And Caleb Houston heads back to the line where he's taken many trips so far today as he's making his 4th trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, definitely. Very nice patience by Walton again, getting in the paint and finding his buddy Caleb Houston, who also was patient and drove the ball to create contact and go up for the finish or for the foul.
The other semifinal game will be right after this on this court, will be live streamed, and that will play the winner of this game here at 7 p.m. on this court. Mamadou, are you going to be here for the 7 p.m. game?
I'm not sure. I gotta read my contract, man. You have to talk to my agent now, you know.
Absolutely. So Houston makes 2 and stops the bleeding for a second. A nice find by Tracy to Marshall. And DME goes back to their 1-3-1 after one possession of man. Pass deflected on Walton, and Montverde's 8th turnover, and a layup by Bobby Miller, and DME's lead is swelled up to 9 here.
Yep, the defense creating offense for DME right now. Nice job for getting the turnovers and deflections and then running. Nice job rebounding there by Jocko. Nice finish.
Jocko Fritz with the 2-hand slam, and DME's lead is up to 11 here, 5 minutes into the second half.
All start with the defense. Montverde now very uncomfortable. No, they couldn't do it one-on-one against Walton. Now the scheme by Coles Al-Sus, the 1-3-1 is doing it for them. Within their lengths and making Montverde talented guards really uncomfortable.
Houston finds Walton. Walton tries to finish, draws the foul, and he's been quiet here in the second half. I believe in the second semifinal game. Do you know who's in the other semifinals? Who?
What do you think?
Tipped out, and ball will stay with Montverde after Walton makes 1 of 2, his first points of the game, or of the second half. He's got 17 now. Foray Academy is in the semifinals. And Red Devils Academy, I believe. There's 3 Red Devils teams, and 2 of them have lost, I believe. I don't think all 3 have. First team lost last night to this Montverde team by 1 point yesterday night in the nightcap here at 8:30 p.m. Marshall looks inside, goes high post to Anthony Campgain, who drives it to the rim, draws the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line. The 6'9" French big Anthony Campgain has had a nice 2 games here after missing the first one because of the ACT yesterday.
Getting better and better. You know, I think his best basketball is ahead. So, hard worker, good set of skills actually as a novice of basketball. Haven't played long, so need to keep just working and keep on improving. Doing a great job thus far at DME.
Campgain makes 1 of 2, and DME's lead back to 11. As Montverde still struggles to figure out this 1-3-1 zone.
Well, this zone, what it does, helps them with Walton and help them with Houston. And now you got other 3 guys who have not been very efficient trying to make plays. But the zone helps you double or triple team Walton and Houston. So now somebody else is going to have to make a play.
Ninth turnover by Montverde, and they go back to their 2-3 zone. Miller for three in the corner, no good. Rebound to Torres. Walton. Scoop finishes good.
Man, that's nice.
In transition, he's got 19 now. Game high. His buddy Houston's got 17. And Montverde is only down 9 here. A tip out by Walton, a turnover by Fritz, and a foul by Miller. And that is DME's third team foul as Jaden Moncrief checks back in for Montverde for Jeremy Torres.
That's what DME cannot do. You cannot let them get in the open lane like Walton did. They're struggling with a 1-3-1. Also turn the ball over. So you got to keep getting good high quality offense. That will help you get your 1-3-1 set. Turnovers, and they're going to be off running.
Houston can't finish with the left hand. Miller tries to continue his hot night, and he does with the triple. And DME's got its biggest lead of the game, 12 points, 60-48. Bobby Miller with 19. Walton finds Moncrief. His three's no good. DME looks to run. Tracy with the left-hand finish. And Brendan Boyle calls a timeout. 11:46 left. DME has taken control of this game in large part of the halftime adjustments by Coach Alsus.
Yeah, the 1-3-1 is tough to play against, especially if you don't have size and great shooting or an inside presence. So I think what Montverde can control also is the transition defense. But I think some of the guards are hanging and not getting back early. Couple of guards are getting back, but not the whole team is getting back early in transition. And they're giving DME easy baskets.
If you're Coach Boyle with this young squad, maybe doesn't have the same depth either that Coach Alsus has. What do you try to do here? Do you stick to the zone, even though Bobby Miller's shot the ball really well, and it hurts you rebounding, or do you stick with it and just try to say if you tip your hat to good shooting?
I think right now they need to make DME uncomfortable. I would pick up DME and try to cause some turnovers to help you run, because their offense, they haven't figured out how to play that against that 1-2-1 defense. Now DME went man-to-man, and they're going to do a better job with that because they have two high-level guards.
6 on the clock. Walton from about 30 feet out, air ball. Camp Gain with the rebound. Tracy into the half court, finds a nice bounce pass to Camp Gain. Can't finish at the rim, but he's fouled. And Camp Gain will go to the line again as Anthony Iglesias will check in here with 11:08. First one good by Camp Gain. Second one is no good. Marshall tried to sky in for the rebound, but deflected it out of bounds. And it will be Montverde's ball. Montverde goes inside to Wembley, the young big from Canada. He doesn't look too comfortable with the ball down there, and he'll come out and screen for Walton.
They're learning the game.
Walton's pass nearly stolen by Golson. Houston travels.
Yeah, that one over there, they just catch and shoot. It was open. They were looking to drive. They were really aggressive. So they just catch and shoot it.
10th turnover by Montverde. Marshall finds Camp Gain on the dive from the short corner. Nice pass out of the short corner by Marshall to Camp Gain, streaking down the middle of the paint. Houston to the cup, finish. Good. Turnover by Marshall. Offensive foul by Marshall off the inbound. And Nathan Barrett, R.J. Barrett's younger brother, checks into the game. Another Toronto Canadian, the young 2022 guard. Torres' floater, no good. Ball deflected out of bounds, and ball will stay with Montverde. Torres, layup, no good. Ball corralled by Webley. He travels. The young big.
Nice job, though. Being aggressive. Learning the game. In a year or two, he's going to be a load. The big boy.
Absolutely. And Kenny Isnord checks back in for Jermaine Marshall, who deserves a well-earned rest, as he's had a very good second half here and really been disruptive at the top of that 1-3-1 press.
Definitely has been.
A legal screen by Kenny Isnord, DME's 11th turnover. Both teams have 11 turnovers here midway through the second half.
To drive him. To drive him.
Houston. Tracy guarding him. 10 on the clock. He spins, turns, finds Webley in the post. Webley off the glass, no good. Isnord with the rebound. He finds Tracy, and off and running is DME. Tracy finds Golson. Golson draws the foul on Webley, which is a young big. If he just stayed vertical, that would have been textbook defense.
Definitely. And I think Golson was right up on either three. He's a sniper. Just let the ball go.
Golson, who had 8 points in the first half, now has 9, looking to get into double figures. As Zach Johnson comes in the game after the ref tells him to tuck in his shirt. Second one by Golson, no good, and Zach Johnson will have to sit over there for a little longer. Torres draws the foul on Golson, and now Zach Johnson will be in the game. Foul on Golson, team's 6th personal, so Montverde is now in the 1-1 from here on out.
Yeah, for Montverde to have a chance to get back in the game, they got to get stopped and they got to be aggressive. They shouldn't the rest of the way, and that will help them not to have to deal with that 1-3-1 zone that they're struggling with.
Zach Johnson checks in for Jacob Tracy. Torres looking to make his second, and he does. 66-52, and a little full court pressure by Montverde. Glacia finds Isnord, and it's a turnover. Off to the races is Torres. He'll find Walton, who will up fake, drive it, and draw the foul. And he'll be at the line for a 1-1 here. And I would assume that that's got to be an emphasis for Coach Boyle here. From here on out is to attack that basket.
Again, turnover. That's what DME cannot do. Is no catch the ball with two hands, finish or find the open man. And now they're off to the races. They have, quality guards.
Walton's first is good. He's now got 20. DME was up 10 with about a minute and a half last night. And Life Prep cut the lead to 2. And DME actually missed a free throw, got their own offensive rebound off the free throw, and ended up holding on and winning by 4. So DME up 12 here with 8:30 left. This game is long way from being over. As Golson misses the 15-footer, and Nathan Barrett finds Walton, and Montverde looks to push. Walton finds Torres. His mid-range pull-up is no good. It's actually an air ball, and the ball will go back to DME.
They had numbers 3-on-2. It's not a bad shot, but you need to make it.
Iglesia brings it into the front court. Walton guarding him. DME slow getting into some offense here, but a nice find by Isnord to Iglesia. And DME goes up 14.
Walton fell asleep there. Whoa. Oh, a nice athletic play right there.
Nice left-hand finish by Torres. Nice way to respond for the young guard after airballing a jumper. Torres, just a freshman himself. Barrett's finish in transition is good off the turnover. DME's 13th, and Coach Alsus isn't happy as Montverde creeps back into this game. 68-58, DME on top.
I think that's a guard. I'm surprised he didn't get to play the first half. He did a good job yesterday, Barrett, a younger brother. So and he's been doing a good job since he got in the game. Very good lower body, big hands, young kid. Definitely going to get better and better. But he did a good job yesterday.
This young team Coach Boyle coaches has got lots of talent. And the more you look at the roster, the more you like it. When you look at the size, the athleticism, the capabilities of their guard play. And they're going to, a lot of these kids will be on that national team in the future years to come.
Definitely they are, especially these young Canadian kids. That's why one of the director of the youth basketball program was here yesterday and following them in this tournament, because if you look at Walton, you look at Bentley, you look at Barrett, you look at Houston, these are the top young Canadian youth basketball, and we know Canada basketball is really, really high-level basketball, and they've been having some high draft picks and great international success.
Bernardo Silva checks in the game for Montverde as they full court pressure. Man, it was all man, but full court pressure. And DME handles it pretty good. They'll go back into the post to Isnord and turn it over. Oh, almost turn it over as Iglesia couldn't hold on to the beautiful feed from Isnord.
He had an easy layup last time. At this time, the big fella, Bentley, was there waiting for him. So you got a 5'8" against a 6'10". It wasn't as easy this time.
Walton picks up a foul. Camp Gain drives the young big Webley to the basket. And Anthony's done a lot of nice things attacking the ball from the high post and from the three-point line against the slower, inexperienced bigs.
Yeah, the 1-3-1 really got those guards out of rhythm now, pushing the ball and finding them. They're getting back into flow, Walton and Houston.
Houston with the 3, cut the lead to single digits. 9 on the clock here for DME. Not sure if they're aware of it. Iglesia is. His 3 is no good. Camp Gay with another rebound. Got away with shuffling the feet. Finds Zach Johnson. His 3 no good. And another offensive rebound by Camp Gay. Great hustle by Camp Gain here as he's now nearing a double-double.
Definitely had a great impact in the game.
Golson's mid-range jumper, no good. Tip out by Camp Gain.
Gonna be a layup.
And it turns in, good hands and a travel on Walton. Jermaine Marshall will check in. Hank Jiang will check in for Webley. Anthony Campgame will check out here, 5:53 left. I'm sure that might be a short break for him. 70-61 as we near the final 5 minutes of the game. Iglesia finds Marshall, who finishes tough inside with contact. Beautiful setup there by Iglesia. Houston with Isnord guarding him. Hank Jiang will set the screen. They'll trap it. Walton will try a three. He'll miss. Skying in for the rebound is Houston, but can't get it. Zach Johnson can. And DME pushes into the front court. Marshall tries to finish, no good. Rebound Houston in traffic. Nice Euro step by Walton. And back to a 9-point game for DME. Walton needs to be able to shoot the three-point shot probably a little better. I think that's probably the next evolution in his game, wouldn't you say, Mamadou?
Yeah, definitely, but I think he will. He's so dominant, driving one-on-one, finishing with floaters and, really craftiness around the rim. He had the spins and everything, so he's definitely more comfortable with that because he's very successful. But as time goes, he's going to develop a good three-point shot as well.
Jermaine Marshall with the tough finish at the end of the shot clock. An offensive foul on Houston. Both teams with 13 turnovers here. So they've been trading blows and trading turnovers.
Yeah, definitely. I think both teams are playing hard and trying to make the other team being uncomfortable, so resulting in more turnovers on both sides.
Iglesia to the cup, no good.
Went a little bit too deep, had what he wanted.
Great hustle by Marshall. Marshall on the rim, and he's a menace on the glass.
Too physical for this young Montverde team. Too physical.
Biggest lead of the game for DME. DME traps Walton off the pick and roll. Ball finds Houston's hands, and he'll hit another three, and he's nearing 30 points for the day. This young 2022 is going to be a star for Montverde to come.
Definitely, he's going to be one of the best players in the country for his age, in the world actually. Because when you're one of the best players in the U.S., you're going to be one of the best players in the world. He's a high-level talent with great size and great skill set.
Golson's in double figures with 11 now. With a nice pull-up jumper there. Torres will check in.
Almost got them with the same play, but this time actually Iglesias did a good job to help with that bounce pass, which is the back door. So good job by Iglesias, putting some pressure on Walton to cause that deflection.
Reset on the shot clock for Montverde. Torres with Golson guarding him. He'll stop and pop on the leaner, and it's way off. Rebound Zach Johnson. Johnson goes back to Iglesia, and DME will run a little clock. They go inside to Marshall, and they turn the ball over. DME's 14th turnover of the game. Iglesia picks up Walton full court. Tries to finish the floater, and they call a foul on Zach Johnson, and not sure exactly what happened there, if it was a foul, but the more you show the the refs that you can play, the more calls you get.
Yeah, definitely. And I think maybe he didn't give him enough room to land. So, which is a foul. So,
Walton's first free throw is no good. Second one is. Just under 2 minutes left to play. DME up 11, in control of this game as Golson takes it to the basket and draws a foul, and he'll go to the line. Looking forward here, the other semifinal game will be played here at 1 o'clock, and the championship game at 7. Golson misses the first, and Nathan Barrett will check in the game for, that is Jaden Moncrief, who will check out the game. He had 7 points today for Coach Boyle's Montverde Ball Club. Second one good by Golson. He's got 12 off the bench. Montverde has to move quickly here. Houston's three no good. Golson skies in for the rebound. And DME looks like they're going to move on and take care of this game if they just take care of the basketball.
yeah, definitely. Looks like it.
Glacier with 2 on him. Finds Marshall. He'll find Golson. And 8 on the shot clock. And a foul's called on Torres, and Iglesia will go to the free throw line there. Not sure about that one.
I think he got bailed out on that call. That was a bad play. Also, you don't want to hold the ball too long. Jeremy Golson had a wide open 3, you need to take it. Because it was 8 seconds left. So you have a wide open shot, you need to take it with 8 seconds left on the shot clock.
Coach Boyle greets his young, talented squad as he clears out his bench here and pretty much concedes the game with 1:05 left. Iglesias' free throws no good. Great hustle by Marshall, who's done it all night for Coach Alsus, and gets the possession back to DME here. And Coach Alsus will call a timeout with 1:03 left. And what do you think he's probably saying here? Up 12 with 1:03 left.
What you just said, take care of the ball. They take care of the ball, they're going to be fine because it's not enough time. And then they need to make free throws because they're going to foul them to try to extend the game.
Is there anything you can really work on in this type of scenario? Obviously, they struggled yesterday in this scenario. Is there anything you think he's trying to experiment with or test out in this type of game situation?
Yeah, you have to be able to close game. You have a comfortable lead. Don't assume the game is over. So do what you need to do, what you've been working on. Be strong with the ball, drive in the paint for a layup or wide open shot. But take care of the ball.
Zach Johnson's three's no good. Another offensive rebound.
Good hustle. I love Jermaine. You see him up by 12, less than a minute, still hustling.
He's been my vote probably for the MVP of this tournament if DME was to win this inaugural 2018 Beach and Ball Classic. He's been phenomenal.
It depends how he plays in the finals.
Yep. And Kenny Isnor gives a little shimmy shake, and Hank Jang hits the deck, and Kenny finishes with 2 hands, and I think we know who number 55 is. Now that's Tony Zhang, the other Chinese player for Montverde out of Shenyang, China. Him and Hank are both from Shenyang.
Yeah, that was a great move from Bahamas, So that was a very nice move, Young kid, number 41, trying to defend Kenny. It's a mismatch.
Hank's a 2020, and it looks like his wrist is hurting. Probably when he fell and tried to brace his landing, I think he hurt his wrist.
Yeah, definitely.
And Tony Zhang's a post-grad, 6'4" forward. So, Zach Semler from Arkansas, nice floater. He's a young 2021 guard, and that should do it. DME gets it past half court, and they will advance to the finals of the Beach and Ball Classic. 81-69, beating Montverde State team by 12 here. We'll have the stats for you in a second. Last thoughts, Mamadou?
Yeah, it was a well played game. Both teams competed. I think it was a great adjustment with the 1-3-1. That was a game changer because if that didn't happen, DME had trouble to really defend and guard number 2 Walton and number 22 Houston. But the 1-3-1 that they implemented after halftime helped them to do that. If it wasn't that adjustment, I think we would have had a closer game and maybe lose this game. So very young and talented Montverde team, keep on getting better, and build on the success. I think they had a successful weekend, and now DME need to go rest and ready to play the next game. But it was a great adjustment, I think, the 1-3-1 at halftime by Colt Alsus.
DME has there's 4 DME teams in this tournament. 3 of them lost in the first round. Coach Alsus's team has been trying to defend the home court and has done a very good job here so far in the tournament, advancing to the finals. Here are some statistics here before we got 42 minutes before the other semifinal game. We'll start with Montverde, and we'll start with Josh Walton, who had 16 in the first half. He ended with 24, so only 8 in the second half. And Caleb Houston, who had 17 in the first half, ended with 20, 23, 25, 27. So those two finished with 27 and 24. That's 51 of the 69 for Montverde. Coach Alsus and that 1-3-1 definitely slowed down their production in the second half. For DME, Bobby Miller had 14, 17, 21 points. DME had 4 people in double figures, with Jermaine Marshall scoring 12 of his 14 in the second half. Anthony Campgain had 13 and a double-double, and Jeremy Golson had 12 off the bench. 17 points, 30 points off the bench for DME, as they got a lot of production and they won that. That was probably the difference between the game today, was the bench production. Talented team by Montverde. Josh Walton, Caleb Houston combined for 51 of the 69, but that was not enough here. And but a very talented young group, and DME advances on to the finals of this championship game that will be played at 7 p.m. tonight. 40 minutes before the second semifinal game, and we will be live streaming that as well, but will not be doing the play-by-play unless Mamadou wants to do it. He did it earlier today. Foray Academy looking to advance, and we will have a battle of Orlando teams here with Red Devils Academy, White Squad, and Foray Academy here in the other semifinals. So should be a good one. Tune in. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back here for that game, the other semifinal. The play-by-play will continue at 7 p.m. tonight, and I will be doing it with maybe Mamadou Njai or maybe someone else. So we'll find out. Thanks for listening, and continue to watch the inaugural 2018 Beach and Ball Classic.